Young gun thinks he knows me. Tries to get me fired from my old bouncing gig while I'm doing my new job. Don't post much, but this subreddit is quite fun to read, so let's try. Background: I've worked in security for over 6 years now. First few mostly as a bouncer, but later on as celebrity, socialite CPO, clothes protection officer i.e. bodyguard. 2 years prior to this incident, I was working the doors at a club that was a hot spot for underage drinkers, and obviously bounced a lot of them in my time. It is also not the biggest venue, and was always jam-packed. On to 2017-2018 NYE. I was working in a team as a CPO for some rich 18 years old, who liked to big things up on NYE for his chums. Lad's tab bill was well over $100,000 USD. Converted. A night, my guy has got 2 of 5 VIP areas, which surround the dance floor, and a stupid amount of dong paragnoni. The title character, Dickhead, is in a different party, and VIP area right next to the 2 my principal has separated by a knee-high wall. One of our jobs is to make sure my guy's area and drinks are only taken by his party-goers. Throughout the night, Dickhead and his merry twats were stepping over into our area, trying to take drinks, talking shit, and just generally being just-turned drinking age prats. Not sure what cracked, but Dickhead was in my principal's face, so I grabbed him and mildly removed him. He wasn't having that, and started shoving my party-goers around, making a fuss, scuffle, shouting. Usual club shit. Bouncers, my old colleagues, come in and do their part, and things are back to a calm state. Dickhead then decides he's got the big dick for a head. Basically convo went like this. Keep in mind this is a nightclub with music turned up to 11. DH, what's your name? Me, what? DH, what's your freaking name, brat? Me, what does it matter? DH, tell me your freaking name, I'm going to freak you up. Me, I don't freaking care, freak off. DH, you're a piece of shit. Can't be any more than a bouncer. I could own you, and your family. You're trash. You get the idea. Insults. Me, freak off, Claude, I don't work here. Or for you. I tried pushing a bit to move him away, but he moved closer to me. DH, full shouting with spit right into my ear. I know you. I know you. You worked here for years, so don't you remember who I am? Don't you know who I am? Me, after pushing him away from my face. Go on then, who are you? DH, don't freaking touch me. What the freak, you can't touch me, mother freaker. Continued with more insults, followed by poking my chest with every word. My team are getting ready to back me up, and the principal and his party are looking my way. I kept trying to talk him out and make him ignore our area, but he wasn't listening, just yelling and swearing, until I just had enough. I grabbed his wrist, pulled down on his shoulder, and twisted, and bent his elbow behind his back, and shouted as loud as I could in his ear that he's done, and to leave it alone. I might have been a bit of a knob, and said some cringe line like, I'll break you. After I let him go, he gave me one more, you're effed, and went over to the bouncers. They came over, and looked at me a bit confused. Then I think said, this guy doesn't work here. He said more, but I couldn't hear what. The knobbo went back to his mates, and I didn't see him the rest of the night. Pricks still kept trying to take my group's drinks though, but nothing to write home about. Not sure if this is even worth writing about, but it felt nice to anyway. So downvote, delete it. All good. Cheers. Edit words. I'm not the caterer. I'm your colleague. This my, sort of, inverted I don't work here story. This happened in the first few months of my career, starting right out of college. I was a 21-year-old woman at the time, doing my damnedest as a new engineer, in a company that has about 30% of its workforce within 5 years of retirement eligibility. I was being trained on a new materials management procurement software that the company was rolling out. This was an all-morning training in our computer lab. so the office catered in a light breakfast available in the room next door to the lab. I was early to the training, and getting myself set up at a desk, when I headed in to get some tea and a muffin. Cue the old guy I've never met before. We say good morning, and he makes some comment to me about not liking the lid style of the coffee cups. They're the flat ones where you pull the tab back instead of the raised ones with a lip. I politely agree while I am pouring water and making tea. A few other people come in, and at that point I've got my plate fixed, and am walking out of the room when, "Excuse me?" I turn around to see what's going on when I see the older man looking right at me. "Do you know which one of these is decaf?" I'm confused. "No, I don't drink coffee actually, sorry." He straightens up and looks at me, frustrated. Well, how am I supposed to know? Everyone else at the refreshment table is now looking at me, confused. I'm halfway out the door, and there are like 5 other people who he can ask, "Aren't you from the caterer?" And I suddenly realize that this man thinks I'm a college student sent here to help, because I couldn't possibly look like the kind of person who could need to know the same software as him. I'll admit I was dressed in very college quality business casual, but it was a cardigan and black slacks. I definitely wasn't in the t-shirt and jeans of a catering employee. Cue all my insecurity at being a young female in a senior male-dominated profession and company. I respond, "No, I'm actually here for the same training as you." He looks at me, somewhat surprised. "Oh," he said. No apology, no laughter, no introduction, nothing. I left the room, settled into my training, and never saw that man again in the 8 years I built my career there.
Heavy story. If you look for wholesome content, please scroll past it. I'm neither sure if this is the place to post it, nor if I should do so in general, but I just can't keep it in anymore. I truly hope I will not get in any way recognized, but at this point I find it unlikely enough to be willing to share this story here. And if it does come back to bite me, then, well, maybe it should. The thing happened in early 1990s. The relevant historical background to this is that Poland haven't really left the communist bloc just yet. First free elections happened in 1989, but the process of escaping Russian influence, basically only doing what Moscow or their minions told them to, took a while. And at the time of the story, the police wasn't necessarily used to doing its job properly. One of such poorly handled cases was the abuse of my next-door neighbor's daughter. I will spare you most details. Just know that the worst thing you can imagine happening to a young girl in such scenario did in fact happen many, many times. They were horrible, horrible people, and I hated them with all my being. I can't stress that enough. To the story. A couple years later, after I have already moved away, I was visiting my family, and since I was a little early, 6 a.m., I stopped at a gas station I once worked at to chat with my old pals and wait for the sun to get a little higher. We were sitting in a little nook behind the counter, and lo and behold, who would come in if not the aforementioned neighbors? He pointed at something, and went back out to fuel their car. She approached the counter, noticed me, and snarked, "You're back here? I guess your studies didn't go that well?" Me, "Actually I did." "Ye, sure, whatever. How much did he go for?" Colleague, 100. I'm asking him. Me, "I didn't come back to work, I'm just visiting." Stop lying to me. You're just ashamed that you failed in life. Now come and inflate our tires. Now, unlike you, we don't have all day to sit and chat. I was so pissed. I legitimately hated them already. But this encounter, after so much time of being away from them, just completely took me off balance. I told my friends it's okay, I'll just do it. I went with her. I inflated one side correctly. I overinflated the other side so much. I thought the tire was going to explode in my face then and there. They weren't even paying attention to me. The second I was done, and before I could even realize what I have just done, they took off. They crashed a few kilometers down the road. They both died. I have never heard of any investigation reaching the station.
My wife saw it happen. There's something about the way I look, dress, act that causes people to assume I work here, wherever I am at the time. It's happened at restaurants a few times, office depot more than once, at a fancy resort in Hawaii. But it happens most often at Home Depot. It's become an ongoing joke with me and my wife. I have told her dozens of times about these instances, and we are both entertained. But she rarely sees it happen firsthand. Yesterday, we were at a Home Depot picking up plastic storage bins. She and I together, pulling bins off the shelf and loading them into a cart. An older lady approached me. "Oh, excuse me, where do you keep your bug spray?" Me, "It's in outdoors right over there." Oh, thank you. Also, I have these little fruit flies in my house. What do you recommend? Me, put a splash of wine in a glass. Add 2 drops of dish soap. Cover the top with saran wrap. Poke a couple holes in the saran wrap with a toothpick. The bugs will be attracted by the wine, go inside, and not be able to find their way out. The soap will help them drown by breaking the surface tension on the wine. Oh wow. Thank you so much for your help. The whole time my wife stood there like, wow. After the older lady left, my wife told me how amazing it is to see this happen in real life, and how quickly I transformed from a customer to an employee. I don't even bother to tell people I don't work here.
Ex-employee chews out a Karen. I wasn't sure where this Karen story belonged, but decided to post it here in honor of its hero, who most definitely doesn't work here anymore. So, for some context, this story involves me, a nice lady, a Karen, Karen's husband, and a guy who used to work there. We'll call him Adam, but he's actually my hero. Also, I'm obviously a trans guy, which did not help. I work at a large hardware store as an appliance associate. We wear orange aprons, so I'll let you figure out where that is. Now, I don't usually work in flooring, but the regular flooring guy was on break, so after the nice lady asked me to get something down from the overhead for her, I headed over there to help. Seeing Karen and Adam standing at the carpet cutting machine, not together, I tell them I'll come help them as soon as I was done with the nice lady. After about 2 minutes, I returned to the carpet cutting machine to find Karen gone, leaving me to talk Adam through what would be best for him to get for his project. Just as I'm getting ready to roll out the carpet we decided on, Karen comes stomping back. "Karen, there you are." "Adam, it's alright, man. Take care of her first. I'm not in any rush." Me, "How can I help you, ma'am?" Karen, "I need 60 feet of AstroTurf." "How fucking hard is that?" I start rolling out her carpet. "You should have just done that to begin with. Are you stupid or something? All of you people are lazy good-for-nothing retards." Adam, "Ma'am, there's no reason to talk to him like that. He's just doing his job." Karen, "Not fucking fast enough. Not that it's any of your business. You need to stay out of our conversation." Adam, obviously done with her bullshit. "Look, he's just trying to do his job, and you're acting like a bitch." A verbal smackdown ensues until my manager, we'll call her Debbie, walks over to intervene. "Manager, is there a problem?" Karen, "I was just having a conversation with this lady." Points to me, and he started being rude. "You need to handle it." Manager, "Ma'am, he doesn't work here. I don't know what you want me to tell you." My manager proceeds to try and talk the woman down, while I roll and cut her carpet. By the time I had her carpet ready, Her husband had arrived with a car to load it up. Then, thinking everything was over, my manager walks away, and I turn to Adam to get him his carpet. That's when I realized that Karen had been telling her husband what happened. Husband, storming out to Adam. Did you call my wife a bitch? Adam, shrugging. I said she was acting like a bitch. There's no reason to talk to associates the way she did. Husband, you need to learn some fucking respect. You can't talk to customers like that. Adam, I am a customer. Which means I can say the things everyone else is thinking, but can't say. Then, the husband tried to fight Adam before my manager came back, and escorted the couple to the front. Come to find out, Adam used to work there, and loved the opportunity to tell customers everything he'd never been able to when he worked there. I've never been so satisfied.
Like and subscribe for more marvelous videos.